All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome to my first episode of Members of Remembering. That's what I'm gonna call this series. That's the word, little series that I'm gonna be doing. Um, I'm coming to you from my bed. This is my bed. I really like the way that this frame looks, actually. Um, And by the way, I'm only gonna record this episode in one go because I feel like if I'm gonna do it in multiple goes, I'm gonna think too much about what I'm gonna be saying. Am I comfortable? I hope I am. This is better. Yes. um, Actually, or do I? Hmm. Okay, this is actually way better, so I'm really happy about this decision. So the I've been thinking about doing this little series. And when I had this thought, I just felt like I needed to start as quickly as possible with taking action and recording because I figured I would never feel like I'm ready enough to start. Hence, why I'm also recording from my bed. I don't have many locations available to me now, but I have my bed and I know that I'm comfortable here. And I didn't want to put the bar too high for myself to start because, yeah, it was just never going to happen. You know, if you're a creative, you probably relate that, like, if you're a creative, you have like a gift from God to be able to download things from the ether into that little brain of yours, and that's very beautiful. But if you're gonna keep it in there, then there's no use to it for anybody, you know. Um, so I wonder if you can see, if you're watching, I wonder if you can see my underwear because I'm not wearing pants, but I'm assuming it's out of frame. If it's not, so be it. So, where was I? I wanted to start as quickly as possible and just do it with the tools available to me. And I don't give a fuck anymore if it's not as good or well thought through or professional or whatever that I initially maybe thought I wanted it to be. Um, because by the time I'd be ready, thinking all those things through, I'd be dead. My life would be over. Life is too short. It's too short not to start with the things that you're thinking about. And if it doesn't go as planned, if it doesn't go as well as you hoped, at least you motherfucking tried. So, and I'll figure it out along the way. But that I'm recording this. The fact that I'm recording this is I see it as a solidification of the promise to myself that I'm gonna record 5 episodes, not with a specific goal in mind, but just to feel like I've given myself to something again. Um, and that's what I'm personally living for. So, yeah, this first episode, I don't know if my next episode is also going to be from my bed, but we'll see about that. I'll figure out a way to do it. I don't know. I'm thinking of doing like one episode a week. So, um, and I'll decide what I'll talk about by the time I'm gonna be there for the other episode. Because in my mind, I was like, okay, at first, like, okay, but then I need maybe at least 10 topics written out of what I'm gonna be talking about for all the episodes. And this whole list of things I needed to have figured out, but I think that's a farce narrative, as I've been going on this tangent. So, yeah, I wrote a few bullet points about what I do want to be talking about today. Because the title of this little series, this project, is going to be Members of Remembering. I also love the way that sounds, Members of Remembering. It sounds very serious almost. Um, but yeah, the name, how I came to this name. Um, Part of why I'm also recording this now or starting this is because I remembered who the fuck I am. Um, and I want to remind other people, I want to remind you of who the fuck you are. And because something I've encountered so far in my life is the universe and the soul already knows basically everything about itself. All it needs is or like every time I feel like I return to myself, I feel like it's a remembering. Or when I learn more things about myself, it's a remembering. Um, and yeah, essentially, this little project is for myself, so I will stay remembered about who the fuck I am. So, yeah, there was like this thing that happened this week. Um, it's not that interesting, maybe, but I had such a lovely time, such a delicious time with one of my really good friends. We spent the day together, and eventually, as you do when you're hanging out with someone, usually, you have to leave at one point. You have to go home. Um, and I told her, like, yeah, I'm so sad that I have to go home, and I wish we could spend time forever together forever. Um, and then we are just kind of talking about that concept, and she told me the story about when she was little. Uh, this stuck with me because of the quote, but also because there was a preacher involved, and I am not religious at all, not in the organized religion way, at least. Um, but just like when she said, like, yeah, when I was a little girl, uh, this preacher told me, this just sounds very. I love the story of that. But she was having a really good time at this event, but at a certain point she needed to leave with her family, and the preacher, she was like, no, I don't want to go, please, can we stay longer? And the preacher smiled and told her, but if you want to come back, you have to leave. If you want to come back, you have to leave. And this resonates so deeply with me, because one of my favorite things about life is coming back, returning, and meeting again, um, coming back together again. That's one of the best feelings. But in order for that to happen, you need to leave first. And to me, this is kind of related to the forgetting and remembering about who you are. Because I think that you're supposed to forget sometimes, but only just to remember again. Because that feeling of remembering again is the most delicious thing that I live for. And yeah, it's totally fine to forget sometimes, to lose your spark. It happens, you know. But remembering that you can always get back on, you can always return. It feels so freeing to me. So that's kind of what I'm doing with this episode. I am returning to who I am because I know deep down that I'm a superstar and that I'm like a Ferrari, and that you're not supposed to keep a Ferrari in the garage. So me coming out here to you today is taking myself out of that garage. um, I'm realizing now, this might sound so cocky and so as if I'm so on my high horse. Sometimes I'm afraid to not be humble enough. Um, but this week, I've also realized something, that to be in everybody's eyes the most morally just person or something, you have to, you can never be small enough, you can never be poor enough, you can never be humble enough. Um, and yeah, I just realized if I'm gonna live, I'm gonna live. If I'm gonna live, I'm gonna take up space. If I'm gonna live, I'm gonna do it well. Because I know, I know that if I embody more of this energy of remembering who the fuck I am, other people will see that and will see themselves in that. And in that way, I can be a mirror. And you can also be a mirror for others. Um, and you can help other people remember who they are. And I feel like that's my mission. So beautiful. I'm happy I'm doing this. Um, yeah, was there much else that I wanted to talk about? I don't know how long I want to keep or make these episodes. I yeah. I also don't know how deep I am now, but there's one a little wait. There's a bit more I want to say still today, because the book Conversations with God by Neale Donald Walsch, I read it for the first time, like the book series. I read it for the first time 4 years ago, something like that. And this changed my life forever. Still sometimes I like open the book to random pages to feel that aliveness again. Because this book also talks about how the universe knows all this. I'm using the word universe because I feel like it's the most accessible. Sometimes I like saying the word God, but anyhow, the universe knows conceptually everything about itself. It knows that it's abundant, expansive, kind, loving, generous, forgiving, sweet, funny. It knows it all. But just knowing, then it remains it remains a concept. You know it conceptually. So to embody the knowing, to embody what you know about yourself, is to know it through experience. Um, and this book calls it empirical knowledge, because you will know yourself through experience. Um, and yeah, from that perspective, this realm that we exist in is required. This realm of relativity, um, above and below, left and right, good and evil, kind or mean, or man or woman. That's a funny one. um, blue or red. There's so many polarities or like spectrums in the realm that we exist, but it's necessary because you can only truly know one thing through experience if you also know the other thing, if you can see yourself in relation to it. Um, and to me, this also relates deeply to that remembering. Um, because we are the universe. You're the universe experiencing itself. You've probably heard that quote before. Um, so, by experiencing yourself, what is the order? I guess it doesn't matter. But by remembering who you are experiencing yourself as who you are. I don't know if that's the best phrasing I could use, but I hope this resonates. I hope you understand what I mean. Um, so that's this little commencement of this project. And I hope by staying loyal to recording these 5 episodes, I will empirically know who I am, and yeah, that's it. Um, and if you feel like, I don't know, if anybody is watching this or listening to this, then I feel like we can together be members of remembering. So that's the title explanation. um, yeah, I'm super excited about this. And I think I'm gonna wrap it up hereby. Guess this is a bit of a shorter episode, but I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you are rooting for me as well. Until next time, please remember you're beautiful and you're a superstar. Um, yeah, I'll see you. Bye bye.